Am I here? I think I'm here. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I'm sorry. I'm back in Oklahoma, and so yeah, I just hooked up everything, and it was wrong, and then I had to disconnect everything, and then I had to put it back together. So, hi everybody, welcome to the Big Show. My name is Mickey. This is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for Middle Americans, where all Middle Americans are welcome. It doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you go. It just matters that you're here right now. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the Chat Olympics, because we always try to recognize the people that want to chat with us on the show because they are great Americans. Why do I know they're great Americans? Because they're watching the show and they're commenting and trying to make it better. So congratulations to Darla Stordo. Hey, Darla, how you doing? Hey, it's good to see you. And congratulations, you won the gold medal tonight. So you are the gold medal winner, Darla Stordo. That is absolutely awesome. By the way, she's a patriot. Uh, we'll talk about Memorial Day here in just a minute, but just want to let you know that Carolyn Greggs Ledger is also on. She won the silver medal. Darla Joe Stewart Bennett won the bronze medal, and Darla Storta says, "Yay, she won!" That is absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for being here. Here's the thing about Memorial Day. Memorial Day is not Veterans Day, and I am not getting preachy. I am not getting preachy. I'm not going to tell you that I don't appreciate anybody telling me something or that you should do this or you should do that. That is not it at all. All I want to do is just take a brief moment to talk about Memorial Day and the implications of Memorial Day, because Memorial Day is about remembering the people that have passed away serving their country. This is a very, very important thing. We have to have people that stand up and protect our country. Through the Department of Defense. I would love to be able to recognize everybody that has given their life for this. But here's what the thing is. Uh, uh, this is about people who have volunteered or been conscripted into the United States military to go fight on our behalf to support the way of life that we have in the United States of America and what we're trying to do in the world, which is make the world a better place. And some of these people have lost their. Hey, Avi, I got a cat. Some of these people have lost their lives, and that's what Memorial Day weekend is. It's not. Uh, it's a way of remembering. This is a remembrance weekend. So don't feel bad about that, about it being a 3-day weekend, a 4-day weekend. What I would like you to do is I would just like you to take a minute every single day during this weekend and remember the the veterans, or not the veterans, excuse me, the people that have given their lives, that have served in the United States military for our country. I don't want to say anything more than that. I do not want to be insulting to anybody that's out there. I want people to go out and enjoy a 3-day weekend, because the people that have sacrificed their lives are trying to maintain and hold on to the American way of life. And that's one of the things that we do here is we not only work hard, but we play hard. And then we support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I can't help but think that me and all of my friends, some of which are watching, uh, wouldn't want, if I passed away in service to my country, I would want everybody to go out. Maybe remember me, but definitely have a good weekend. And if the government wants to have a 3-day weekend because of that, well, all for the government and all for the employers that go along with that mentality when dealing with Memorial Day. So that's what I got to say about Memorial Day. So, uh, but this brings us up to the second point of tonight. So if you don't know, the name of this show tonight is about cowards. And this is a very, very specific thing, which I'm going to say today about the way that we have moved forward in our country uh, when it comes to kindness and what it means to be kind. Uh, but there's a time when it's not to be, it's when you can't be nice anymore. And you have to stand up. And there's too many people in this world, in the United States specifically, that are trying to say that being, I don't want to use the term masculine because this applies to women too. Being of sound mind and body and willing to stand up and defend core common values is one of those things that I espouse, because you cannot be secure in yourself, with your families, in your residence, in your communities without being strong. You cannot let bullies come in and push you out or push you down like they have done all over our nation. And then when you have cities that just give up on crime and they just quit fighting crime, and then they excuse crime and they blame other stuff for crime, and they refuse to stand up with it, and they refuse to hold people accountable for it, guess what's going to happen next? Then people like you and me are going to have to stand up and say, if you're going to rob me, and my life is in danger, I'm going to have to stop this right now. And that takes intestinal fortitude. It takes courage. And you cannot be a coward in those moments. Because if all you do is say, oh, take my money, or take my purse, or rape my friend, or assault me. No, that's not the way that it works. It's not the way that it works. It hasn't worked that way since the beginning of time. And I'm not going to put up with that bullshit now. So there's no way that we need to do this. And Carolyn says, cool for the girls. Hey, I forgot to say the top three, gold, silver, and bronze, are all women today. So that is absolutely awesome. So congratulations. Thanks a lot for pointing that out, Carolyn Greg's Ledger. So before I get into the whole coward thing, and this is kind of like related to that, but you'll see what I mean here. I want to do really one quick thing. Last night we did a thing about Davos and ESG, which is environmental, social, and governmental, and how the elites in the world want to start grading, or are already grading, corporations, but you are going to be graded next. And a couple of people made great points. Mark Calcaterra made a great point last night about, well, you sign a piece of paper that says that they're allowed to look at your finances. And I said, yes, you do sign that paper, but that should be between you and the bank. It shouldn't be between you and some nondescript credit company that's out there. And then today I started thinking about it, and this is what I wrote down. This is correction on the credit scores. You do fill out an application at a bank, and they will get you your credit score because you authorize them to do that. The credit score involves things that are beyond your scope in the things that you sign on. See, you sign on to put on what your credit cards are, what your mortgage is, how much money that you make, and everything like that. But it goes into your past. See, this is not relative to what you have done right now. They are tracking you for your entire life. And this might involve things that have been adjudicated and taken care of a really, really long time ago. So the credit score involves things beyond your scope and things that are not on the application. Cable bills, paying rent, every credit card you've ever had, bounce checks, balances on all your accounts. You don't sign up for that. You go to your bank, and your bank's supposed to operate in good faith with you. How come our banks don't know us anymore? You want to know why? Because we're nothing but a number to them. We're nothing but dollar bills. You come in and you want to borrow money, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. They go, hey, give me a credit score. I go, hey, look here, I got $100,000 in your bank. And they go, yeah, we're going to need a credit score about that. Really? That's what the deal is? We can't come to terms without you, crawling up my behind and sniffing around, and my spouses and my children and my business. How come our banks don't know us anymore? How come we don't have that good faith? How come we're now all just relegated to being numbers and dollar bills? That really, really bothers me. But they're going to do the same thing with ESG. Because the ESG is what the elites want in order to control us, whether we get money, whether we get credit, whether we get a house, whether we get food, transportation, clothing. Remember, they want you to have nothing and like it. Oh, you're going to have nothing and like it. Thank you very much, Klaus Schwab, but I think I'll keep my shit. Just want to let you know. So, and then the second thing is, you didn't sign up for that, and you have no idea how they calculate your credit score. I'm going to tell you right now. I should have a perfect credit score. Perfect credit score. I don't have a perfect credit score. How in the hell do I not have a perfect credit score? I don't have enough credit. I don't have a house payment. I don't have enough credit cards. I got money in the bank. I've paid all my bills. I've been paying all my bills for years and years and years. How in the hell do I not have a perfect credit score? Because I don't know how they calculate that. Nobody here knows how they calculate that. It goes in some type of an algorithm about how much money you have, about how much money you borrow, about how much money you spend, how they crawl up your behind, and they know all of that stuff. And then so many of us should have a perfect credit score, but yet I've never heard of anyone who has a perfect credit score. Why is that? How do we not know how it's calculated? How come we don't know what the numbers are? Why do they all keep it separated from us? Why are we not allowed to know that? And if they do ruin us and they do ruin our reputation and they tell us that the bank, they can't give us money because of a low credit score, what recourse do we have? Can we take them to court for defamation? Can we say that they have slandered us? Can we say that they have lied about my credit? And so it's not their job to fix your shit. It's your job to fix their bad information. See, they just collect information on you. And it doesn't matter whether they have a wrong name, whether they have the wrong address, whether they have the wrong account. No. That's all your fault. And that's bullshit. And they're going to do the same thing with ESG, environmental, societal, and government. That's what the elites want to do with us. So you have no recourse into this. Now, I have no idea how to fix these problems. But the first thing about fixing a problem is you've got to know about it. Now, it sounds great that everybody wants to save the planet. Sounds great everybody wants to save the planet. But let's say that we all going to go save the planet tomorrow. Can all of us, can everybody in the United States of America, can every single family in the United States of America go buy an electric car tomorrow? Hell no. You want to know why? I can't even get a gas-powered hybrid Ford F-150 that's been on order for 3 months. It's been on order for 3 months. A hybrid Ford F-350. I talked to my neighbor this morning on the way out of the neighborhood. You know what my neighbor Nate said? My neighbor Nate said, I have been waiting for a expedition for 9 months. And now he's got to go find another car because he has a large family. He has stuff that he has to do. He has stuff that he has to move a long distance. He's got to have this vehicle because an electric's not going to work for him. And he can't get one. That's the environmental score. Remember the societal score? Are you easy to get along with? Do you support society? Or are you good on Facebook? Have you been banned from any of these platforms? Are you supporting the national agenda? Yeah, they're going to screw you on that too. And then the last one, governmental. Are you following all the rules, the regulations? Are you doing everything the way that they say? Are you doing your part to support the government? That's going to be part of their plan for the world domination. They're going to screw us all. I don't know how this is end, but I guarantee it's not going to end well. And I may or may not be here, but I just want to let you know that I'm going to fight these son of a bitches as long as I'm here. And then Darla Joe Stewart Bennett says, while working in mortgage, we ran into issues if folks didn't have enough credit. I was always told being debt-free was best, but that doesn't work in our system. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Undisputable truth from the woman of the moment right now. That's Darla Joe Stewart Bennett, who now has 4 names. I thought it was just, Darla Bennett. And I thought it was Darla Bennett, which was 2 names. Then it came up Darla Stewart Bennett, which was 3 names. And now it's Darla Joe Stewart Bennett, which is, that's awesome. So if we keep going at this pace, by the time we get to the end of the year, Darla Joe Stewart Bennett is going to have 5 names. And by the end of the century, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 or 25 names. So let's work on that, Darla. Okay. So All right, so that's my notes from yesterday in doing the corrections. So let me get to today on cowards. Let me get to, I got to talk about cowards. We're teaching our kids to be cowards. You know, we can't even get enough people in the military now. We have an all volunteer force. And for the first time in a really, really long time, they're not meeting their goals because they can't find the kids are either too fat. And I'm going to say that I'm going to use the word that they're either too fat, they can't breathe, they can't lift a pencil or a paper clip. They're out of shape, they're out of breath, or they have some type of malaise that makes them ineligible to go into military service. Now, the military service is not helping this either because they could have harder physical fitness standards for elite operators, and they can have less physical standards for people that are doing administrative functions. They're not going directly to war to be a bullet catcher or bullet shooter. Simple fact of the matter is, if you eliminate all those people, then you take the rest of the people that are willing to stand up for their country and stand up for what's right and not go into Antifa and not do drugs, that number is dwindling down. Right now, less than, all right, the total number of people in the United States of America that have ever served and are still alive is less than 4%. Significantly less than 4%, but it's between 3 and 4%. The total number of people that we have that are currently serving is about 1.2 to 1.5% of the population. And that involves active duty guard, reserves, and everybody else that would ever be on active duty. That is very, very few. And here's what we're teaching our kids. We're teaching our kids to be nice. We're teaching our kids that bullies will be immediately caught when they are in school, and the bullies will be punished to the full extent that the school has until the fact that they're kicked out of school and nobody has to deal with the bully because somebody always takes care of it. Now, back in the day, if you went in and you had a beef with somebody, two things happen with that. Number one, you get to deal with adversity and you get to say, I'm sorry, and we get to shake hands and depart friends. And sometimes a scuffle broke out. But you want those scuffles because you want everybody that's in the schoolyard to understand that when you open up your mouth, somebody's going to get punched. And that creates manners because you get punched in the face enough, you're going to be very, very nice moving forward. But the other thing is that if somebody gets punched in the face, it does create bullies. But then eventually, bullies, most of the time, not all the time, bullies understand and come to learn that that is not a good way to go through life. But the bullies on the playground have gone on to do some amazing things. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to control our children and make them all into pansies. The problem with pansies is a tank can roll over a pansy. You got to be willing to stand up. You got to be willing to take the tanks on. You got to be willing to say no to the bullies. Somebody has to stand up to the bullies. And that's always what happens. It's always what happens is eventually somebody stands up to the bullies and the bullies get theirs. And you can see it every Saturday morning on the movies. And the thing is that if you take a bullying attitude out of high school and you put it in college, some bigger kid's going to show up and punch the shit out of the bully. And that good kid is going to be defending somebody. So you have bullies and you have heroes, but you cannot have bullies and then let the teachers and somebody in authority take care of that. You have to have heroes. We are lacking. We have a severe crisis of real heroes in our country. We have a whole bunch of keyboard warriors out there. You're bad people. You don't want to save the planet. You believe that gas is good. You think Trump is a segregationist, white supremacist, border. Oh my God. You guys are a bunch of narcissistic pansies And then when you do go up, you got such a large group that you go and burn things rather than protect and change things. I don't need people burning down cities. We already have people that are willing to do that. What we need heroes to stand up against these people. But who do the police go after? The police don't go after the people that are there to keep the peace. The people that are protesting or burning or busting things, the police then go, oh no, let them go. And then the people that are trying to stop it, that are trying to defend their stores, those are the people that are getting in trouble. What are we teaching our children about the George Floyd stuff with a mostly peaceful protest? Where are the heroes that were in the school? I can't believe that I got to say this, man. But I went down to Lowe's today to get these moving boxes so my daughter can move. And you know what is sitting out in front of Lowe's in Tulsa, Oklahoma? An off-duty police officer in their car, sitting there checking out the parking lot. And I watched him. And he didn't move, and he was sitting right up front. Later, when I went in to get the boxes and go get some tape, he came in. He wasn't shopping. He was lingering around the front around the front, and then he went back to his car to sit there again. And I know he sat there because I also got a Polish hot dog, the Polish dog, whatever the hell, Polish sausage. I went to go get a Polish sausage, and then guess what happened? He was still there when I left. And it took me a half an hour to get the Polish sausage. I was fourth in line. And apparently the guy has to go out and get the Polish stuff and grind it and put it on. It was a mess. So anyway, I was there for about an hour and a half, and so was the cop the entire time. But we need heroes. And here's what I wrote about this. Being a coward on behalf of other people, I don't need anybody to protect me. Let me rephrase that. I don't need anybody to protect me. I will protect myself. I will protect my family. I will protect my property, and I will protect my neighborhood. If I'm in a store and somebody comes in that intends to do you harm, if I have the ability to respond and react, I will, because I'm not a coward. There are a lot of people that are out there that are not cowards. But you know what you have to do in order to not be a coward? You have to have the ability to respond. You have to have the ability to take the matter into your own hands and say, no matter what the escalation and no matter what the cost, I'm willing to stop this. That's where heroes come from. That's where the Medal of Honor comes from. That's why this weekend, many people that have won the Medal of Honor are going to be remembered for their service to their country and the fact that they gave their lives, because in order to receive the Medal of Honor from the President of the United States, by the way, it's called the Congressional Medal of Honor, presented by the President of the United States, you have to know that you are in perilous danger and you have to act anyway. That means when a grenade comes into a bunker, somebody sees it, instead of running the other way or throwing anything on it, they throw themselves on it because they know how dangerous it is, and they take the blow to save their fellow servicemen. When somebody comes into a house and everybody's running the other way, somebody will step up and say, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be here. You're not allowed to rape my sons, my daughters. You're not allowed to take all of our stuff. You're not allowed to kill us. So I will step into the breach and I will stop you. Firefighters do it all the time. Those are heroes. People that will step into the breach. Even if they don't have the means to fix things, many, many times, people in the fire department will run into burning buildings to save dogs, children, men and women, and any other. That's what hero stuff is. What I don't need somebody trying to take the ability to protect myself and to protect others away from me, because you are a coward and do not see how it's possible for yourself to stand up. Does not mean that the people around you won't. I'm sick and tired of cowards running our country. Sick and tired of it. People that have stood up to defend our nation are sick. I'm going to speak for myself. I cannot speak for everyone. I personally am sick and tired of them saying guns are the problem. No, guns not the problem. I've had guns my entire life. And not one single time in my house has anybody ever been shot. None. And I've had guns everywhere. I came in, I'm packing Sydney up. I don't think I've ever been more proud. I opened up cabinet over here. I'm not going to tell you which one. There's a 9mm semi-automatic pistol loaded and on safety. I went into her room. And there's a 38 snub-nose revolver, 5-shot, right next to her bed, with the case open, loaded, and ready to go. Because I taught my daughter not to be a coward. I taught her not to fear for her life. I taught her to react to a threat. Because you never know what's going to happen. And it doesn't matter whether it's a gun or not. Everybody needs to understand it doesn't matter whether it's a gun or not. It could be a person with a knife that goes in and starts stabbing people. That happens all over the world. It could be people with a vehicle that are driving through a town and all of a sudden they decide to just start hitting people. Somebody needs to be able to stand up and take them out. I continue. How do people think it used to work? How do they think that we got across the nation during dangerous and perilous times? Do you think that police were always around the corner, out in the West, out when they were adventuring, when they were discovering all of the places that needed to be discovered? Do you think that the police were out there? Do you think they call it, or do you think that they had hard men and women that were crossing the nation saying, I will defend myself if trouble comes my way, against all aspects of nature and human? Do you think that police were always around the corner? Do they think that there weren't threats from other populations of people, from criminals, from lots of places? It used to be your own job to protect yourself and your family. Institutions have to protect themselves every day. Do you think that Apple doesn't have security? Do you think that the government doesn't have security? Do you think that every single major corporation in America doesn't have security? Everybody secures themselves to the best of their ability for the level of the threat. And obviously, our schools have not done that. And our politicians have not insisted that they do. Because half the politicians out there always, when something like this happens, screams guns. Wrong. That doesn't solve shit. All you do is you want to take my ability to protect myself away from me. The next thing you'll say is, not everybody is like me. You're correct. Not everybody is like me. That's 100% correct. I don't want everybody like me. They're not like me, but have you ever thought that maybe they should be? Have you ever thought that that's the way in the world, the way the world has worked for millions and millions and millions of years, is that everybody's had to protect themselves, and now we have gotten ourselves into an environment where you don't have to protect yourself. You just have to worry. You just have to say, oh, everybody's being mean to me. Call a cop. You're not solving your own problems. You're creating problems because the cops, there are not enough cops to take care of all of you pansies out there, all of you non-gun people. When you need a cop right now, the cop is 5 minutes away. When they started shooting in that Texas town of Uvalde, they started shooting, and 12 minutes later, the kid went into the school. And 4 minutes after that, which was 16 minutes, then the cop showed up. So it took the cops 16 minutes to get there to an armed person shooting at people on the streets. I got news for you. If I was there, it would have been over a lot sooner than that. I'd either be one of the victims or I'd have shot that son of a bitch. And many of my friends were there. But none of you cowards who don't like guns helped, did you? Oh, I don't like guns. Ooh, guns are bad. Fuck off, man. They're not. I carry almost every day. I'm not your enemy. I mean you no threat, no harm. I'm not there to protect you. I'm only there to protect me. But if I have to protect myself and you happen to be standing next to me, well, good for you. That's awesome. because I'll protect you if you're standing next to me. If you're my neighbor and you call me, which has happened multiple times in the last 10 years in the neighborhood that I've been in, somebody's called me up. A family member goes out of town. I get a phone call in the middle of the night, says, hey, I think somebody's behind my house. Guess what? Mickey's coming. Mickey's loaded, locked, and ready to rock. And it happens all the time. And by the way, less than 2 months ago, somebody pulled up at the end of my street and turned off their lights at 2:00 in the morning. I was working. I was looking out my window. I saw them pull up. I saw them turn off their lights. I went outside. I turned on the front porch light, and then I started my vehicle remotely. Guess what happened? They started their car, backed up, drove down the street, and picked up two individuals that were down the street at 2:00 in the morning. That happened in my neighborhood 2 months ago at 2:00 in the morning. If they had ill intent and I had been in bed, could something have gone wrong? Yes. But I do neighborhood watch. Why? Because I want to protect my friends and neighbors. And because I'm not a coward and I'm not afraid to do it myself. We are asking the government to do way too much for us. We want you to secure the money. We want you to take care of baby formula. We want you to fix the border. Well, they're supposed to fix the border problem. We want you to fix the global warming. We want do stuff yourself. Put LED bulbs in all of your bulbs. I'm buying a hybrid. By the way, this is my fourth hybrid. I've known about saving the planet a lot longer than most people. Want to know why? Because I read shit. And I don't even believe in global warming to the extent in which they're saying. Has the temperature gone up? Yes. Is it CO2? I doubt it. People don't know the reasons why stuff is happening. It is happening. But there are almost 8 billion people on the planet. That's going to have some kind of effect. You want to know why? Because we have heat sinks. We have these huge cities that just absorb the shit out of sunlight. Go ahead and close your door, leave it in the sun. Even on a cold day, it gets hot up in there. That's what's happening in the world. All right. I'm not here to talk about that. I know I will protect my family. Do you know why people do not go on a military base? Because a military base protects themselves. Do you know why there's no mass shootings happen in police stations? Because police shoot back. Teachers' unions do not want to protect our children. They want to leave them defenseless, and they want to make sure that they are defenseless too. We are teaching our children to be cowards and online bullies rather than teaching them how to deal with problems and how to be heroes and defenders. Accepting that government says on face value is unacceptable. The premise that government provides all the answers does not consider the fact that there are bad people with bad ideas and bad actors in the game of politics. And they try to enforce their will on us by taking our guns away, but that's not what the problem is. So they're not going to have an effect on this unless they get every single gun. They got to take them away from the criminals too. By the way, you know what communists do? The first thing a communist does, a communist takes all the weapons away from their people. And then they go and kill them and mass. So we have to push back against people with bad ideas who intend to do us harm, intentionally or unintentionally. We are being led by a class of people who are stupid and do not understand the concept of cause and effect. Brave men and women have stood up in the past, and we are willing to die to ensure that other people were free. Ukraine is a perfect example. Freedom, independence, and those around them were more important than their individual lives. You can't fight back without guns and the will to use those guns. Otherwise, you're a coward. And if you do that, you're raising your children to be cowards as well. To the bullies who are sanctimonious and use guilt and passive aggressiveness to a detriment to our society. You have to be willing to punch a bully in the face. Sometimes it's going to come at a very high cost, like a beating or two, maybe even death. And here's what the deal is. That's why I believe in superior firepower. That's it about bullies. We can't raise cowards. We can't raise cowards. We have to raise people who have the guts to stand up to injustice and evil. I don't know what you're teaching your children, but if you're not teaching them to be a hero, you are on the wrong side of this. What do we teach our kids? Lock down, run away, get under a desk. No, how about go find the son of a bitch and kill him first? That's all I got to say about that. So, I am not going to do a show on Monday and Tuesday. I am also not going to do a show because I have a medical appointment. Nothing too serious, just got to get a scan, but it's not until 5 o'clock at night, and I have no idea how long it's going to press. And it's going to be an hour. Hey, there's my daughter right there. And it's going to be an hour away from where I live. So if the scan is supposed to start at 5, but it didn't go till 6, then at 7, it's going to be an absolute mess. So no show on Monday, no show on Tuesday. I want everybody to have a good Memorial Day weekend. Please do me a favor. Think about the men and women who have passed away in service to their country. That's what this weekend is about, so that we can remember them and put into perspective what they have given us through their sacrifice to be in the United States of America today. Remember, like, share, hit the notification bell. Remember, Mickey in the middle, 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, except next week when Monday and Tuesday I'm going to be out. Other than that, that's about it. And without further ado, good night, small one. I love you. There it is. Bye.